Well, welcome back everybody to another video. As you can see, it has snowed. We have a very early snow. It is, what is it, the 30th of October? Yeah, so we weren't expecting this, but it's here. It's not gonna stay, fortunately. So our cows are all confused, but nobody really cares too much. So he doesn't care, he's happy. So we got a fair bit of grass coming up here, but we are slowly starting to run out. We're gonna have maybe another week left in this pasture, then we're gonna have to move. Fortunately enough, we have another field in the back. I'm just been fencing. Still gotta finish fencing that. It's gonna be another couple of days. It's gonna be a little more difficult now that it's snowing, but I think we'll get there. And we're gonna keep on pasturing even without nice weather. Even with this snow, we're not gonna stop. So as long as the animals are getting enough good feed, they're gonna be all right. And I think we're gonna be able to go pretty late into the season. Just hopefully nobody gets sick. Fortunate enough, they got a little shelter they can go in today. That old shed, an old machinery shed. Half of it has no roof, but the other half does, so I'm sure they'll be in there today. But I don't know how long this weather's gonna last. It's gonna probably warm up today and we'll have no snow and it's just gonna be a mess. So let's go. All right, so it's October 30th and here we are in Masso. Still grazing, but we got some bales out. Everyone's wondering what the hell's going on. It is pretty early for snow. We did have snow when the cows were here once a couple years ago at the end of November when we really pushed it a little bit too far. But this year we're gonna be getting out of here by the beginning of November, so I think around the 10th of November we'll be out of here. So in a couple days, we're in the reserve now, so this pasture doesn't really get much action. So we're only allowed in here after July. So it does have a lot of time to grow. That's what we got, a fair bit left. Well, we still have to compensate with some silage, so let's get going. We'll get out of here now. All right, so we're back at the farm. I just went up to our sand pit and got a load of sand. Ugh. Not too heavy, not too much, just a little, tiny little load. We got to fill in that well that we dug up the other day. The guy actually finished last week. We haven't got around to doing it, but he extended the pipe. Now that we have an excavator, we can do stuff a little bit better. So I'm gonna come up here and just clean up all this clay that's here. And then we're gonna slowly backfill it with the excavator. I don't wanna dump the whole load in and risk bending or destroying something. He had real trouble with that pipe. He thought it was a standard 5, but it was some odd shape, so he had to make a special collar. And yeah, so I'm just glad it's done. We won't need that cement pad anymore because we're not gonna have to go down there, hopefully, anymore. If we ever have to pull the well or pull the pump, we can pop that cap off and we can yank it from the top. So that's gonna make it a little bit easier when we gotta change stuff, so I'm happy about that. We gotta start the excavator, let it warm up, and fill that in. Devin's grinding grain. He appears to have overfilled it. Broken. All right, so as you can see, I immediately regretted bringing that much sand. I clearly brought way too much because not even a fraction of the load is in the hole, and the hole's already full. So yeah, I'm an idiot. But thank God we have an excavator. We can just load it back up now. So I brought a lot more than I thought I did. Anyways, we'll get that hole filled in. We'll make a little bit of a mountain around it, I guess. I don't know. And let's see how old Sketchy Blue's doing here. It's not heating up yet. Alright, my operator skills aren't the best yet, but this is what we made of the situation. Mucked up the yard a little bit. And we kind of spread it out as much as we can. We're just gonna come back with a bucket, I think, on the loader and try to scoop some more up, maybe. Or just leave it like that. I might just seed over it and make some more lawn. Make the lawn a little higher there. Who knows? Anyways, going for lunch. Let's see what the day brings. We're not too sure what we're gonna do after this, but I'm sure we'll find something to do. The snow's starting to melt. Hopefully the sun comes out. I am cold. All right, so I'm out in the next pasture for the fall group where they're going to be coming up. I'm just getting the fence ready. So this fence hasn't been propped up and maintained in about 15 years, I want to say. Doesn't seem like that long, but it actually has been that long. So we got some fair good sized trees growing along this fence line. I've started this is the second day I go on it. I can almost get to the end there. I'll have to show you more, but I gotta go all the way around to this road and then all the way through the road, or on the side of the road, and then this part's already done back to our side. So I got a fair bit of fencing to do. Luckily the wire's all here, so the biggest part is really just cutting all the brush, making sure there's nothing holding the wire down and nothing that's gonna make the wire short out. And then I can just go with screw and insulators. These little black insulators, they got a thread in them, kind of like a it's like kind of like a lag bolt, but with an insulator at the end, and I screw right into the trees. And it makes fencing pretty easy. We just use one wire, and yeah, I gotta pick up everything I cut. I gotta pick up and drag it into the bush. So that's kind of like the biggest thing to do, really. Labor intensive. Anyways, I'll show you more when we're done, when it's up, because we gotta get this done pretty soon, because there'll be cows. They're kind of munching away at that pasture, so day by day they get closer and closer to running out of feed, and we don't really want to start feeding them hay and stuff yet. So we want to keep them on pasture for as long as we can. As long as I like to finish all the calving, get all the cows calved in pasture, and get the calves a couple weeks old before we start feeding them. So that's the idea. So yeah, all right, so we made it to the other side, and this whole section here is cleared, and well, there's a little bit left here to pick up, but the whole section on this side is nice and clean like it used to be. So we just got big trees basically bordering the fence or the field, and the little stuff has been pushed back. So it's 5 o'clock. I'm gonna head home, and I'm gonna show you our little surprise waiting at home. We unfortunately had an accident Friday night. We had our beloved dog got run over on the road. It was my girlfriend's dog for 7 years. I've known her for 4 or 5. I think it's been 5. Anyways, the dog's been with us. She's lived with us ever since my girlfriend moved in. And my girlfriend moved in, I think, a month after we started dating. So That dog meant a lot to us, and it was really sad. And I just couldn't bear having no dog for such. It was only 2 days. I couldn't bear not having a dog for 2 days. It sucks, especially not having that dog. It really sucks. Everywhere we go, we see the dog in the house, kind of thing. Like little noises she made, we're still hearing them. Like, it's so weird. I always expect a dog to bark every time someone drives in the yard, but it's so damn quiet now. We used to hate it, but it's it's so weird. The things that you hate about certain things, you start to miss about that dog. So yeah, it was a rough weekend. I didn't think I would miss that dog as much as I did, but I really do miss her. And we just wanted to replace her as fast as possible. We found an Australian Shepherd miniature, not the same print as her, but reminds me a lot of her, so I think it's gonna help a little bit with getting over her, but it just happens. Our damn highway was responsible for so many deaths of dogs and cats. I don't know how many dogs we've lost from that highway, but we were going on a pretty good streak of no losses for some time now. We had some pretty smart dogs, but our last main dog on the farm just died of old age, which is pretty nice. And we have a cat that's like 15 years old, and he's just probably the smartest cat we've ever had. But yeah, we'll have to go see the little guy. It'd be nice because the dog gets to grow up at the same age as my young boy, so it's sad, but we have a lot of pictures and memories of that dog, so gonna have to put in some pictures of her at the end of this video. So I'll show you quickly what we did. Turn this bummer video around. Be a lot of work, pretty thick in there. You can just hear how wet it is up here. God. So yeah, we got a fair bit to do yet. It's not too bad here. It goes pretty far in the bush. Good for a couple months of feed. Hopefully once that's done, we can feed the cows up on here just to supplement them some. Over in this little triangle too, that's kind of out of the field, that chunk right there, I bush hogged that this summer. We never really tilled anything in there. It's kind of like My dad used to feed cows in there. I remember it being full of mud and stuff there, but it's pretty rough. I think they made a lot of ruts and stuff, but we can feed them there if we have to, just so that they come out on the field and spread the manure a little bit. But there's not much here. We did like 2-3 turns on this section when we cut the second cut, but for the most part we left this section here, and it just doesn't grow back. It hasn't. Some spots here it's not really. So yeah. You okay, boy?
Toys.
Here he is. Say hello. Scared of the light, I think. Hi. Hi. So friendly.
We need
So
a
friendly.
name.
Yeah, I know. Look at the spots
What's
on her.
your name? Come here. Come on.
Hi. Hi. Hi.